It's October 7th, 2 years after this horrific massacre took place in southern Israel. There are millions of people in the street all over the world, not calling for the release of the hostages, 48 that are still in the underground prisons of Hamas, but showing their support for what happened on October 7th. Here's a beautiful video that puts things in the perspective of a non-Jew looking in, wondering, why can't they just leave the Jews alone? That's my question. Here we are on October 7th, 2025, 2 years to the day after the biggest massacre in Israeli history and the biggest killing of Jews since the Holocaust. And there are still 48 hostages underground in Gaza being starved and tortured in horrific ways. Many of the hostages were brutally executed, including this beautiful family. These are the Bibas children with their mother. All three were slaughtered in the tunnels. The bodies were recovered, and the autopsies prove they were killed in captivity. And yet the world is still hating on Israel. Not even the mentioning of the hostages is getting wide coverage today, but the streets of cities all over the world are filled with literally millions of people in support of what happened 2 years ago today. Here is a perfect summary of what happened 2 years ago today. It's a beautiful video by a lady who's not Jewish and has a hard time understanding world public opinion. Check this out, and then we can discuss it.
I'm not Jewish, I'm not Israeli, but I tell you what's so annoying, how obsessed institutions, little guilds, people all over the world, obsessed with Israel. Obsessed. It's weird, it's creepy, it's unhinged. Why? Have you seen how big Israel is? Israel just want to be left alone. They've always just wanted to be left alone. Jews have wanted to be left alone to do their thing and do it well. But so many people cannot just give them that. There was a ceasefire on October 6th. They didn't want a war. They just want everyone to get on with it. But no, Hamas had to do it. Every single war has been a defensive war on Israel's part. They literally took malaria-ridden bogs of land. You know what they did? They built, they thrived. I mean, what they have done in the last 77 years, whilst one hand is tied behind their back because they're constantly having to watch over their shoulder because all of their neighbours hate them and want to destroy them and end the Jews. And yet, they have given the world so much. Google it yourself. I'm not even going to just list it here because there's so much. Leave the Jews alone. It's getting creepy now.
What a beautiful sentiment. She's like a female you know, not Jewish, but understanding that all the Jews in Israel want is peace. And like we talked about before we came on the air, if the Arabs, in this case, the ones that live in Gaza, laid down their arms today, there would be peace in 5 minutes. And if the Jews on the other side of the border laid down their arms, there'd be a slaughter, the likes of which the world has never seen. Yeah. One side wants peace, and the other side wants death. And there's no secret about it because Hamas has on their hats and on their headbands "to the death" in Arabic. They have no intention of ever existing peacefully. Their entire mission is to kill the Jews, not in Israel, all the Jews in the world. Yeah. That's their mission. Yep. And they make no secret about it. Unbelievable.
That's why I knew that they were going to come. They were going to, let this peace deal just fold.
And you're right. You predicted it. I had great optimism. I thought Trump had pulled off the ultimate deal of the century. Everybody signed it. And then when it came time to say, okay, the hostages come out in 72 hours, the 72 hours are over. They were over last week. Yeah. The hostages are still there. They're still fighting. They fired rockets today into Israel. They're not stopping until they're all dead. I'm sorry, President Trump, you tried. You did a great job of getting something on paper that they had no intention ever, in my opinion, of honoring. Very sad.